Yes.
Rinus Oosthoek, Salem Chamber of Commerce, Oosthoek. That's probably a first for a lot of you. Thank you for being here. First of all, I want to thank you for being here, and I applaud you for going on with this project because Bridge Street needs it. And I think the business community is in support of the plan and wants to see Bridge Street spruced up better and better functioning. You've heard a lot of comments from everybody in the room here, and I think the concerns that Lynn and the Salem Chamber share is about the signage that exists for the Bypass Road project. There are some solutions, but I also have a question. In the traffic studies and the plans, are you sending people for Highland and for the waterfront down Washington now? Is that the idea of Salem downtown straight? Because if you do that, you are going to be creating quite a lot of trouble that you're not thinking about. I think there has to be a sign going to the left that does say Bridge Street, Salem waterfront. No, it has to be a different sign than Salem downtown, because you won't be getting the 50-50 if all of the state offices, all of the destinations on the waterfront have to go straight and through. And the other part of that is, after you do it, you'll get the downtown businesses complaining like crazy because there will be a traffic jam day long in the Washington Street area, which already is a tough area. So I would like for you to consider that.
Okay. Just what would it say? Bridge Street?
One of the things is the suggestion is just sit down again with all of us and look at it, because I think it's apparent that you have tried, despite what you hear tonight, but it hasn't arrived where it should arrive in the state. And I think if we have to go to the governor, we'll go to the governor. I don't mind. It's just, it has to make sense. It has to make sense for the neighborhood, and it has to make sense for Salem. And if one direction is downtown Salem Ports, one direction is downtown Salem Waterfront, that could work too. But you have to address this. And Rob Liani is right. It's more than just the sign that we see now. I would love to see all the signage proposals before they are put up, because I think you need to use the expertise that's here and use it well. On another topic, there is a concern that Bridge Street should stay open for construction, or open for business during construction, and I would hope that and expect that you address that the same way that you've come to us before, because if it is going to a 50-50 or worse 40-60, and then you start a construction phase and it drops down to 15-20%, in effect you might be closing down businesses. And it's one of the worst things in an area that needs to be spruced up to essentially make it go down. And I would hope that we can address that as well. The remnant of the old Salem Bridge, I would love for us to move on that quickly, and I know we have discussed it, and I know I have discussed it with Lynn, and I know that it's in the planning, and if there's any timeline that you know about that you can share with us here, because I think the neighborhood deserves a destination at the end of the bridge that also would be visible from the bridge as something that's attractive for people to go to. I think it will help that way too. So please address that as well. And then the last thing is really the positioning of the trees is not just at Coffee Time Bake Shop, it's also at other locations. I think there are ways of positioning trees along the street so you get a beautiful neighborhood while keeping the sight lines open. The most important part for Bridge Street is the small local businesses that don't have the essentially the signage advantage of the Dunkin' Donuts or of a major brand, and they totally depend on the signage that's visible from the street. And if they don't have that, or it gets taken away by the trees, and maybe the sort of type of tree helps too, but address that too, because you would make doing business very much difficult if people don't see it while driving by as a tourist. But once again, thank you for being here, because we know you try. It's just we have to get to the other phase, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you for your comments. Again, on the older abutment to the old Beverly Salem Bridge, we will be back in a few months to discuss the 25% plans for that.